putting this PcV here now. He was a little trouble when I took the old one out. That looks good. All right, guys, welcome back. Here we go. This is the Audi A5 3.2, same thing as a 3-liter. Previous video, we got this old PcV system out, and we're gonna be installing this new one. Finally came in from Audi, original. This is like expensive parts. You don't wanna cheap out on parts because you don't wanna do this again. If something crapped out, you don't wanna open it up and fix this thing again. So here's the old one, that's garbage. We're gonna be replacing it with the brand new one. Make sure everything in here is clean. This is where the gasket's gonna sit right on here. So make sure it's nice and clean and dry. Okay, I use a Scotch-Brite to clean all this off. And then inside here, the valley, make sure it's nice and clean as well. So we're gonna be putting this PcV here now. He was a little trouble when I took the old one out. Had to be in the right angle somehow. Okay, there you go. That looks good. Yeah, that's it. Line her up on the bolt holes, and then we'll put all the bolts back in. All right, guys, so there's 14 bolts on this. I'm just gonna go hand tight, bottom it out, and then we're gonna tighten her up right after. So just gonna put everything back together in here. All right, so all the bolts are kind of like hand tight, so it's gonna use the impact here to bottom it out. It's gonna go zigzag, so it's nice and even. All right, next we're just gonna quickly snug her up. Not too tight, just snug. All right, this is the last one. All right, so all nice and snug. So just double check, run everything all around just to make sure you didn't miss anything. There you go. And then this is the last one right here, up on the top, just to hold everything down in place. That's it, done. All right, guys, so next we're gonna install this bypass hose right here. There's the part number, straight from Audi. Really quick, because the old one is right here. I don't want to risk this. I want to replace it with a brand new one before it start leaking. So better to replace it now. All right, so just put a little bit of silicone grease in here so that it's easy to slide it into the hole right here. Okay, so it just goes like this, and then push it in towards you, just like that. And then there's a hole right here for the bolt to go in, and then bolt it down to the block so it's nice, tight, and secure that it's not gonna come out. You can see, there's my hand right there. Just keep spinning it. All right, so this is all the boring stuff. I'm gonna fast forward everything, put all the vacuum hose, the heater hose, and then the connector back here. Make sure everything is connected, okay? And then we're gonna put the fuel line right here after. This is the harness for the injector. So we're just gonna quickly do that here before we put the intake manifold. All right, guys, so I got the harness all plugged into the injectors here, and then the heater hose right there to the bypass line right there. Heater hose, everything is pretty much all connected. This PcV hose right here is the next one. I got the O-ring for this chew right here, so I'm just gonna take out this O-ring, replace it with a brand new one. All right, so here's the new one. Put it in here really quick. And we're just gonna quickly fish it in to the hole here. Go in like that. Goes in. Just wiggle while you're pushing it in. Just have to wiggle and push it in. And then you're gonna need a self-tapping screw like this one right here. It goes in here so they will lock everything in place. All right, that one's good. All lined up. Goes to the PcV cover. Same thing on the other side, PcV. All right, guys. So next, there's an intake runner here. This is a brand new gasket now. Okay, we'll slide it in here. There's an O-ring on injectors here. Put a silicone in there so they will slide nice and easy when you install this. So get the stud lined up to the hole like that. Make sure you get the harness away from the area. But first, we gotta take out this tape up here. We don't want to leave that tape in there. Just like that. Make sure the port is open. There's nothing inside. Nothing's hitting, squishing. And then we'll push it in. Just like that. Alright, we're gonna put the then 2 nuts here and then bolts all around. It's a good thing to label everything. Like when I got here, PCB bolts and then the injectors right here. That's how I organize all my stuff, because you never know, you will be out for work for like 3-4 days and you come back and sometimes you forgot where all the bolts that were supposed to go. So label them up to help you out, put all the bolts and nuts together. That's it. All right, guys, so we're gonna hand tight bottom them out so that we know that it's nice and snug. Just use a ratchet, nice and snug for all the bolts. So there's 4 up on the top here. That's 3, and then this is the last one, 4. I mean 5 right there, and then 2 10mm nut. That's it. Nice and snug. And then the 2 10mm nut. Don't go crazy with this thing. Just nice and snug. There you go, guys. Next, I'm gonna put the injector line right here, connect it to the main pump right there. All right, guys, there we go. There's the line for the fuel. We're gonna line her up. 11/16 to tighten this nut right here. Nice and snug again. All right, guys, so this is the bracket you need to secure this line. I got this out of the old PcV. So, all right, guys, so I had to take out the fuel line because I had to put this in first. Took out those 2 bolts right here for the PcV and bolted down this small little bolt right there to hold everything down. And now it's time to put the fuel line in here. All right, so let's snug up the PcV 2 bolts first. And then the bracket is next. There's 3. All right, there you go, guys. That one's done. Gonna double check, make sure it's nice and snug. All right, so this side here, this is the high pressure pump. I'm gonna put the line right in here. All right, guys, there you go, nice and snug. Double check. We're gonna keep an eye on that when we prime the engine. Just make sure that there's no leak or anything. And then we're just gonna put this bracket here with the bolt, secure that line, just like that. Fuel lines is set, ready to go. PcV hose, we're gonna disconnect here. This is just a vacuum line. This is purge. You know, I think we're just gonna leave it like that. We could pressurize this now. The coolant, we'll put coolant in here. We'll pump the trigger, and then we'll pressurize the system to 15 psi, and let's go underneath, see if it leaks. Cross finger that it doesn't leak, because if it leaks, it's something else. It could be the head gasket is the next, but I'm for sure that it's a PcV problem on this. So let's fill her up coolant here, mix it with 50-50 water, and then we'll pressurize it.